and executed that night.
We should carry on where we were headed. This makes little difference. We can work around it.
Yes, it does, sir. Whatever's left of the German resistance after this will want no involvement in anything we plan. Security will be intensified tenfold. Thank you. Everyone's going to be even more paranoid. No one's going to be able to get close to him. Let's go to a meeting.
About this?
No, it's nothing.
It has to be said, however, that after that security was tightened up severely, and that in due course it would have been much more difficult for a foreign hitman to get a chance, for the simple reason that the number of public appearances decreased dramatically to the point where he had 1 or 2 a year. And these indeed would have been the best chance, would have represented the best chance for a foreign hitman, unless he had someone on the inside feeding him up-to-date intelligence.
The security was very tight, I must say. And it was not easy to have access to Hitler. There was the interior circle, I think, was 24. And then there were second circle and third circle. And it was nearly impossible to come near to Hitler, except for those who belonged to his entourage.
The German resistance was ripped apart, so ending any hope of an inside job. But the Allies were taking thousands of prisoners from both fronts, and any one of them could be trained as a potential assassin.
They came over to this country, they came through the immigration, and they were examined there. Their whole life was gone into there, what had happened to them while they were here. And those who were able, mentally and physically, and who were determined to avenge all that had happened, they'd be chosen for pre-selection in the preliminary courses down around the home counties, be carefully vetted there, and if anything was found against them, be turned out.
I was drawn to the interrogation file of a Polish-born POW, reported as being particularly keen to work for the Allied cause.
I told you.
Tell us again.
What do you wanted to test me? I grew up on German side of Poland, so I am fluent in German.
And you were picked up in Normandy on the front line?
No, second row. They would not put me on the front line.
Because they thought you would surrender?
Because they knew I would surrender. And I did. It's just a pity you took so long to get there.
But they trusted you enough to give you a rifle?
They did not have to trust, they could have killed me so easily.
And of course you said you made a choice to fight for them in 1939.
If Nazi army invade your country, come to your village, put the gun to your head, threaten to kill all women and children and say you have choice, fight with us or die. Is this choice?
Was it not more honorable to die?
Dead men cannot revenge.
And that's why you want to fight with us?
You give me a bomb and war will be finished.
Seeking solution to what they regarded as destruction of home and land. Not so much revenge as seeking a resurrection of their family, if they still lived, and of their country. Because country is very important when you're fighting a war.
Future agents were sent to special training schools and instructed in the skills of irregular warfare, unarmed combat, disguise, terrorism, subversion, everything to be prepared for the unknown mission. Arguably S.O.E.'s most successful missions involved derailing trains. In 1942, a team of Polish saboteurs had orders to derail a fast train. Charges were laid and the resulting explosion killed 430 Germans. It was an amazing triumph. By now we had gathered a lot of intelligence about the Führerzug, a special train that Hitler used to travel within Germany, its appearance, its security and its routes. We even knew that it was cleaned by French women POWs. The Führerzug is described nowadays as a dirty violet or a very dark blue. The speed of the Führerzug varies from 90 to 120 kilometers per hour. In Germany, not only is the track itself relatively free from military police, but neither bridges nor tunnels are heavily guarded. So we had intelligence about Hitler's train and we had experience of train sabotage. It made perfect sense to plan to assassinate Hitler as he traveled. Also, it was time for me to stop asking questions and start coming up with something concrete. The German lines had at last been smashed in Normandy and the path to Paris was opened up. The Red Army was advancing to Warsaw. The Nazi war machine was wobbling. Perhaps Operation Foxley could push it over the edge.
Bombing the train. It's the best option.
We know that Hitler regularly travels from Berlin to the nearest station to the Berghof, which is in Salzburg. We know that the train control is warned 3 to 4 hours ahead and the station 20 minutes ahead.
We don't have access to that kind of information.
What? We would tap into the loose talk in the cafes, the French women who watch the trains.
Tap into the French women?
Yes. I'm sure they can be dated. I'm sure they can be chatted up.
So, a sabotage party disguised as station police should easily be able to lay charges and destroy the train as it goes into a tunnel.
How do we even know if he's on the train? As you said... Could you stop that, please? As you said, the stations aren't warned until literally minutes before. And even if we did have people on the ground, which we don't, it would be too late. The timetables aren't transmitted in codes that we can break in time. We have no agents in that area, and the German resistance is now an unknown quantity. And most importantly, there's one thing we can be certain of. It's that Hitler is unpredictable. He changes his mind at the last minute and follows no routine.
Then we move to plan B.
Which is?
Someone could wait at a station with a suitcase filled with explosives and throw it under the wheels of the train as it passed. Though the operative would have to be prepared to face the consequences.
These are real people, sir.
I'm sure we can find someone among the Austrian and German POWs with a sufficiently strong hatred of Hitler.
That they'd be prepared to risk certain death.
Yes.
That would jeopardize all the contacts we've made so far.
So?
The contacts we've made today